I'm Dave Abrams. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, lassie.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I'm Kristin. Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this week's episode, we'll meet the man behind school snow days and take a look at improvements on Route 214 in Edgewater. But first, making headlines this week. Well, we made it through our first and likely our only snowstorm this week, and it was kind of a bust. That's an understatement. Despite the warnings and a bit of internet hysteria, BWI recorded a paltry 2.2 inches of snow accumulation in Dave's home of Riviera Beach, a very disappointing 1.3 inches. I mean, really?
I know.
Of course, this has truly messed up our annual snow predictions. Dave got a little excited with the snow approaching, it's just like a little kid staring out the window for Santa. He was disappointed just like that. Back in November, we made our predictions. Dave had a single storm dropping 10 inches, and on Monday, he was feeling pretty good.
I was.
But nope.
Nope.
And I really wanted this. A snow dropping 22 inches or something around that.
I mean, that just sounds
which
crazy
of course
now.
was way off. I feel foolish.
No.
Farmer's Almanac, you let me down.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we were way off with our snowfall totals for the season. Dave had 26 inches, I had 38. So we need to do way better next year. It's like predicting March Madness. I mean, what do you think about all
Good
this, Dave?
segue,
Right?
good segue.
Right.
I was so disappointed. And how about
I
the
am too.
Almanac? What's up with the
What is
Almanac? You
going
might have to
on?
fire the Almanac.
They said we were really going
You
to take
counted on
a
them.
hitting in February. We didn't get anything.
And Kristin, you know, while we're here and we're talking about good numbers,
Yes.
or bad numbers, or however you look at it, I have some other good numbers.
All
here.
right.
We just got in figures that show that Anne Arundel County has record jobs reported this quarter.
Oh.
Record jobs. Jobs increased by more than 7,600 since 2015. So
Wow.
how about that? 270,000 jobs in Anne Arundel County. I mean,
Well, at least
not
somebody
bad,
got
right?
high numbers. Maybe not the snow, but
Yeah, so the economy's doing well.
There
so
we
got
go.
that going for us.
I'll take that trade.
Well, if you or somebody in your family has a talent for helping others or lifting heavy equipment, we have the story for you. This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department will start accepting applications for new recruits. This is very exciting, and the process starts March 22nd. Here's a promo.
Family is everything, whether we are at home or out in the field.
Our brothers and sisters always have our backs, and we leave no one behind.
The Anne Arundel County Fire Department is my home. If my daughter was ever in danger, I would feel safe knowing that my family is there to protect her.
We want you to join our family and be a member of our team. Call the number today. Share this video with the hero in your life and tell them to join us.
Kristin, I did not know this before. You don't have to be a super duper athlete or have a ton of experience to become a firefighter and a paramedic. That can all be handled during the training process. Here are some basic requirements. You have to be able to work rotational shifts.
Okay, makes sense.
You have to be able to perform arduous work under adverse conditions.
Also makes sense.
Kind of like taping this show.
Right.
And you have to pass a written physical test as part of your training, but they'll help you learn how to do this.
Okay.
Call 410-222-8282 for more information. A starting firefighter 2 makes about $40,000 a year. Piece of cake, right?
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, one of those other requirements should be that you're pretty good in the kitchen, or at least the grill, because they put on some phenomenal meals at firehouses.
They do.
So.
They do, and we touched on that in the segment. We wanted to kind of capture, we call it the family video. So we wanted to take that theme of how firefighters, you know, they live together and they're really like a tight-knit family, and it's their family away from home. So that's really appealing to the people who do it. They like that team spirit.
Yeah,
they like
and
the
I've
camaraderie.
I know what's happening. I've
There's
seen
good food,
on
good
Food
food.
Network firefighters that come
Armature.
in with like
I heard
award-winning like barbecue ribs. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Pit
oh
beef.
yeah. Yes.
Pit beef.
The budget is coming. The budget is coming. This week, the county executive held the second public meeting to get citizen input before the budget is presented to the county council on May 1st, also May Day. Folks came out to meet with County Executive Steve Shue and the heads of all the county departments. They talked about more funding for teacher raises and road improvements, as well as specific issues to their neighborhoods. Stay tuned to Arundel TV for updates on the budget throughout the spring, because we've got you covered. After Shue delivers his budget to the council, there will be several opportunities for public comment. And if you really want to dig in, go to aacounty.org/budget to read last year's document.
Got any big surprises for the budget? You communicated your needs for
I've
Department of Public Works?
updated my rider for weekend review.
Interesting. And what are just a few items that are on your rider?
New co-anchor, just kidding.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Ouch. Only green M&Ms?
Right. I want a special chair.
Okay.
I'd like peacocks in the studio.
Peacocks.
I want a revamped makeup room.
Okay.
And
this is getting expensive now.
Maybe a new car.
Wow. A car has nothing to do with you doing the show.
This is
at
all a
least the
joke,
peacocks have
by the way.
something to do.
Completely
Oh, good.
a joke.
I was getting nervous. I don't think we can. It's not in our budget. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk to Bob Mosier from Arundel County Public Schools. #PleaseBob.
Please, Bob.
Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back. Returning to the studio this week, we're delighted to have Mr. Bob Mosier, who is our Chief Communications Officer for our county schools. Bob, welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much.
And one of the most exciting things we had this week, of course, was our snow day on Tuesday, which was a little lacking in the snow for me, but obviously you had to make some very strong decisions for the schools.
Yeah, difficult storm for us because it changed. The weekend before we were looking at 12 to 18 inches,
Right.
and then as it got closer, it seemed like it kept getting less and less. And we ended up closing schools on Tuesday. We announced that on Monday, and then we had to deal with the after effects for Wednesday.
Right, and it's constantly changing reports, but tell me, what time do you get up on a snow day when everyone else gets to sleep in? What time are
It's
you up?
about 3:30 in the morning. Yeah,
3:30.
but
not sure I've ever seen 3:30.
I gotta tell you, when you're waiting for that phone to ring, you don't really sleep anyway, right? I mean,
Right.
you're just sort of tossing and turning, so that's just the way it is. It
That
goes
makes
with the game.
sense. Light sleeping on that night. And when you have to make this phone call, obviously people love getting that phone call from you, hearing that phones or that schools are closed. But what's your favorite gimmick? What's your favorite way to deliver the news?
Well, the ones that we make early in the morning are pre-recorded, obviously, right? We're not recording messages at 3:30 in the morning to try to send out, but we try to keep them pretty straightforward. I mean, the campaigns on Facebook and Twitter that have come as a result of it have been kind of funny.
Yeah.
The song my daughter and I did last year was
Adele.
either funny
That
or
was
tragic,
big.
depending on which side of the
That was on
the
CNN,
thing.
I
right?
love it.
It was on
Made
CNN.
CNN.
I promised her I wouldn't do that again. So. But it's been
We have
good.
#PleaseBob.
Right?
do.
And we had the portrait this week of you with your T-shirt on.
Yes,
That
the
said,
That was-
Fake and the Flakes one.
That
or-
was. I mean, it's sort of taken on a life of its own. I never expected any of that, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's fun. It's what we've tried to do with it. Really, is drive people to social media with it and increase your engagement. And so last weekend we did some fun things with memes and that kind of stuff. And so if you get more people on your page, then when you have actual news to give them, then you got a bigger
This
audience.
is the times we live in.
That's right.
We're now meme oriented.
Right.
We songs rewritten. I won't forget the Adele one anytime soon.
That was
probably my
not-
favorite gimmick.
Not really sure.
I remember when
Unforgettable
I saw that,
is a
when I saw that the
quantitative
first
term.
time, I go, he's nuts.
Yeah.
He is going to be in
But
trouble.
brilliant.
Yeah,
All the way to
but
seeing
it worked. It worked out.
Right.
I always tell people there's a very fine line between funny and embarrassing. And when we're trying to write, we're always trying to write stuff that's kind of humorous. And
Yeah.
sometimes I send stuff up and they're like, no.
We'll have to ask them, because of the Adele song, were any other chief communication officers, were they like, Bob?
Well,
Or
what's
did
wrong?
they
I
try
think they
and-
were glad it wasn't me, right?
Oh, right.
I mean, I tell you, when I first talked to my daughter about it, she was really game for it. And so then we recorded it. It was a really primitive thing, right? It's a phone and a laptop. And so after we sent it out, there was this 10 minutes of panic or so until her friends liked it. And then it was okay, right?
Right.
But I just thought it'd be something funny for our parents. I never thought, CNN's going to pick it up on their webpage or whatever.
Right.
So
That's-
I think
awesome.
there's another really clever strategy there, and it is that when it snows, all the complainers and all the people who are angry about everything come out of the woodwork. And
Oh, yeah.
sometimes people are at such a fever pitch that I think it's nice that you guys have made it a fun thing.
Yeah.
And something for people to enjoy and laugh about. I mean, come on, guys. You have school or you don't. You figure it out and everything. And I think it's really changed the tone of how people act.
I agree with that.
Well, it's a gradual thing with social media, right? I mean, a couple of years ago, we had a few snow days in a row, and we put up a post about how ironic it was that kids wanted to go back to school and parents wanted the kids home. And I mean, parents, really complained about that. And so as it's gone in the last
Right.
year or two, I mean, that's changed, as you say.
It has.
Yeah.
It has shaped the conversation differently.
Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of it a little bit, just for people who don't understand. Who makes the decision, and sort of how does that work in the early morning hours?
So ultimately, it's a superintendent's decision. But we have folks from our facilities and transportation divisions out on the road as early as 3 o'clock in the morning, literally with temperature guns, taking pavement temperatures and that kind of stuff, looking at lots. We have custodial crews in at schools working with that kind of stuff. All that information is fed back to facilities and back to our chief operating officer. He's in touch with other school systems around the state, in touch with County Department of Public Works. What are you guys seeing? Do we have any tough spots? What are the issues going to be? And then ultimately a recommendation is given to the superintendent. The difficulty for us is we're such a geographically diverse county, right? I mean, what happens in Pasadena is what is different than what happens in Lothian. And
Right.
so, you get those complaints all the time, but how come, we can't just close schools in Pasadena and leave Lothian schools open, or West County or North County or South County or Central County? And so we have to make one decision for the entire county, and that's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So catch us up on, we think we won't have any more snow.
This makes me sad, Dave.
We think we won't have any more snow, but it's not April yet, and I know for a fact that we will have our first nice day. You heard it here first. Don't just ignore my snow predictions
Our
from
first
November.
nice day. Didn't we have
Our
a
fir-
75-degree
Well, our
Saturday?
first where it's nice and then we're done. Like it's not
No
going to be
more
cold.
back and forth.
April 4th.
April 4th.
April 4th
My
is
mother's birthday.
May the 4th
What a
be with you. So how many snow days have we used this school year, and how does that affect the calendar going forward?
Well, first
Obviously,
of all,
you didn't use them all.
We would certainly entertain and support an executive order that after we changed to daylight savings time, we had no more snow. That would be great. So if you guys could work that out at the county level,
on
we'd
that.
be very supportive of that. But we build in 5 snow days a year. So we've used 1 now. So we subtract any unused days off the end of the year. So if we get no more snow, June 8th is the last day for students.
See, kids,
Wow.
you can go swimming earlier.
So I bet they like that.
Well, they do like it this year, particularly because due to the governor's executive order that we can't start school next year till after Labor Day. That's 2 weeks later at the end of the summer, and a potential almost a week at the beginning of the summer. So you're looking at 3 additional weeks in the summer.
Total score.
Good time to be a kid.
Total score. How about that?
Jeez.
I didn't know you get the days back. If you
I didn't
don't use
either.
them.
I didn't either.
That's
So
pretty
you have to go 180 days, and so we build in 5 extra days, and then we subtract out what we don't use.
And then Snowmageddon, I think you had to dip into spring break, right? Didn't you? Have
Right,
to
we
cut
did,
days
and
out of
we
spring break?
requested a waiver from the state, right?
That was rough.
Yeah, that was very rough. That was a bad year.
Well, like Dave said, we're not going to have any more snow days. I feel it deep down.
And now that we've said it 3 times, it's going to snow
happen.
tomorrow.
It's going to happen. But with that being said, moving forward to next year, when I know it's going to snow a bunch, it's better.
You know that?
It's better. I love snow. What will be the best resource for folks who want to be the first to find out when school is going to be closed or whether you decide to keep open?
So we send that call to parents starting at 5:30. We have an automated call system, and so 5:30. But we put the information on our website, on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page as soon as we get it. So that's generally around 5 minutes to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So those are the places for people to go if they want it instantaneously.
And that's all at AACPS.
The website is aacps.org. Facebook is Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and Twitter is at AA County Schools.
AA County Schools.
I'd go with
Very
Twitter. I'd go with Twitter on this one.
Yeah, that's good. I like the Facebook personally. But.
And we have 125 schools with all have Twitter pages, and it's all on there too.
And as far as the phone call goes, are parents automatically enrolled in that if their students are at school, or do you have to sign up
That's
for?
all pulled in through our student data system, so parents can identify 1 or 2 numbers, up to 6 email addresses, and some text numbers.
And where can we send in future song requests for snow announcements?
Well, we're counting on you guys to do it. So
you don't want
maybe
that.
the 2 of you could
we'll
get
be
together and we'll
happy
have
to.
something ready for next year.
You don't want that.
No, we'll see.
Kristin.
You'd be surprised at the requests we got this year, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show, giving us the rundown of how snow days work, and we won't have any more this year, but for next year, now we all know. And if you have any other announcements you'd like to share with us, please come back on the show. We always enjoy having you.
Always good to be here.
Great to see you.
And quick shout out before we go. Bob used to be my boss. When I was a newspaper
We've got
reporter,
time.
Bob was my editor at the Gazette. So
Any stories that you'd like to share about a young, enthusiastic, ambitious Dave?
Dave and I have known each other for a long time. Let's leave it at that.
I don't get the snow calls, but I do get calls from Bob.
We'll leave it at that. And with that, we'll take a quick break right now. We'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Welcome back. Work is progressing to improve traffic conditions on the Mayo Peninsula. Michelle Corkadel has the latest from Edgewater. Michelle?
Thank you, Dave and Kristin. I'm so happy to be out on this nice near spring day with Kathy Sharp, our project manager of the Route 214 and Muddy Creek Road intersection project that so many in Mayo and the surrounding Edgewater area are looking forward to. Kathy, it looks like we've got some fresh activity to report out here.
Yeah, we are. We're finally paving. We're putting the 2 base courses down today. It's been a long time coming, but there's been a lot of work behind the barrier that I know folks can't see, but we'll give you some shots of that. So we finally got all that behind us. We're paving first part. The next step is to do some under drain, a little bit more drainage, and the guardrail. So once the guardrail's in, SHA approves it, then we'll be able to take the barrier out and put barrels in preparation for milling for the surface course of asphalt.
So this first coat that we're seeing going on right behind us here is that base that you guys are going to use to build up to your final product.
Right, it's a 2-inch surface, so we build up to that with the larger aggregate.
So, what are we looking at time-wise of when we're going to finally be able to take advantage of this wonderful turn lane?
Right. Well, the contractor has scheduled for the guardrail to be installed at the end of March, and we'll need a little bit of time to mill and do some minor preparations for the surface course. So I would expect sometime first, maybe second week of April, depending on what the weather's like, that we would have the surface course guys out here. Immediately following that, we do pavement marking. So that'll be the final step before we're able to open the lane.
So I understand that when we first open the lane, since the final phase of this project is not yet complete, that this is going to be a dedicated right-hand turn lane until such time that we complete the east side of 214 of the project, correct?
Right. It will eventually go through and right, so you'll have a choice when you get to the intersection. But so that we can open it and give some relief in the intersection, we'll have it a right turn only. The east side is scheduled to start in July. We have a little break in the construction. And so hopefully by early fall, it'll be completed. It extends up to just about the Verizon shop. So it's a long, gentle merge lane so everybody can get back to a 1-lane configuration eastbound. And once that's complete, then we'll be able to open it for the full capacity of the intersection.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I guess we'll be out here when this phase of the paving is complete and share the latest, greatest update there. I'm sure weather permitting, we're going to be looking for a little bit of traffic relief come this spring, and even more so in the fall.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining me, Kathy.
Sure thing, Michelle.
Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Michelle. I can't wait until this whole thing is finished.
Seriously, I think it's gonna be nice. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good. And like when we get our kayaks ready and we're going down to Carr's Wharf, you know, and down in the Edgewater area, you know, we're gonna be able to get down 214 better.
Yes.
We're gonna be able to turn
Yes.
onto Muddy Creek Road.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
So Kristin,
So Dave,
St. Patrick's
St. Patrick's Day.
First of all, where does St. Patrick's Day fall in your hierarchy of best holidays?
Well, considering I'm a natural ginger.
Right. Born that way.
No,
It's
I'd
not one.
say-
Christmas is one, right?
No.
Oh, Halloween's one.
Halloween is
Christmas
one.
is two.
Christmas is two.
And you're named after Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
so-
wait. Where's
what?
my birthday, though?
That's not a holiday.
To me, it is.
It's not official yet.
Okay.
The president hasn't weighed in on that.
All right. Halloween, Christmas.
You got Easter. You got.
I'd say, you know what? I'd say St. Patty's Day is probably third.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got going on for St. Patty's Day this year? What's
Well,
going on?
considering that the Laganas have legendary stools at Killarney House, I'll most likely be joining in on the festivities
They
there.
own the stools?
I mean, they have stools.
Oh, the
It's
Killarney House. That's in your
understood
neighborhood. Right, I gotcha.
that those stools are
Another
Paul's
shout out to
shirt.
Edgewater. Yeah,
what
Killarney
up,
House.
Killarney House. What else am I going to be doing?
Are you going to wear green?
Of course I wear
Do you
green.
have like a major like green attire? You have like
Oh, yes.
many things to choose
And last
from?
year, Vicky and I got
I
our
never have anything. I have to find it
Oh.
the day before, you know?
dollar store.
Dollar store?
Or Five and Below. Hit it up. Let
Okay.
me tell you, brother. Good shirts this year.
Okay.
My sister and I got our faces painted last year, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a hat. Because when I was in college, we went down to Savannah, Georgia on spring break, and that fell during St. Patty's Day. And man, I mean, aside from Boston, I'm sure who has a phenomenal St. Patty's Day celebration, never been, but Savannah does it right.
Baltimore's
They closed
good
down
too.
River Street.
Indianapolis is good
Yeah.
too. They really are.
But
Like,
I have all of this flair from Savannah that I love to boast on St. Patty's
I
Day.
should have
so
asked you to bring that for me.
I
so
know,
I could borrow
should
it.
have. You should have. But I'm very excited. So
Green beer? You like green beer?
yeah.
Okay.
What is your favorite? Are you like a Guinness or more of the lighter ales?
On St. Patrick's Day, I go with the Guinness, maybe a dark and tan, you know.
Okay. Or cider.
But my
Will
plans-
likes a snake bite.
Ooh, snake bite, good
Yeah,
one. I like
yeah.
that. Okay, and I'm not going to name the drink. We all know the drink that we all like, where you drop the shot.
Right. We don't need to.
It's a little racy for the show.
I got it.
But my plans are still a little bit up in the air.
Okay.
Shout out to my crew on my street, Jim and Barb McAdams. They have a really nice.
McAdams must be legit.
McAdams.
Must
and
be legit.
They have corned beef and cabbage.
I was just
and
going
do
to
the whole
ask you, do
thing.
you have food that you like to prepare? Because I do
Love
a corned beef and cabbage every year.
I'm an Irish Jew. I mean, corned
Yeah.
beef and cabbage is perfect.
Do you prepare it your own?
No.
Okay, so I have found it's either great in the crock pot or it's great in a pressure cooker. So one of those two ways. I
nothing
don't
in
boil.
between.
I don't boil
No
or do it in
boiling.
the oven. I like those two ways. But I'm excited for some fish and chips from Killarney. I do like fish and chips. And what else? What else? Any kind of food-wise? I don't know.
That's pretty much what you do. I mean, you just drink.
Shepherd's pie. If you like
Shepherd's
that.
pie is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, those
Excellent.
kinds of things.
Are you going to make something?
I will make the corned beef and cabbage.
You will?
Yeah.
In the pressure cooker, or which one are you going to do?
I think
you
I'm
have
gonna.
to declare now.
I'm gonna declare. I did pressure cooker last year. Let's do slow cooker this year.
Okay.
So I need to go.
Can I have a little sample of that?
Right. Yeah, of course. I'll bring you some. I'll bring you some.
Thank you. See, whenever I want you to bring me something, I say it on the air so that way it's for the record and people
I get in
will
trouble.
make you feel bad.
Right.
Whereas if you just told me we were walking down the street and you said, hey, I'll bring you some of that corned beef, it could never happen. I mean, you keep to your word.
I do.
I'm not saying you don't, but I just like it to be documented so we
yeah.
all know. I want to try that.
Well, any wisdom you want to share with me? Any Irish wisdom? I'll give you some.
Okay.
May the darkest days of your past be the brightest days of your future.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
You're welcome.
Did you write that?
I did.
Can you say it in Celtic for me?
I would, but I don't want to show off on the show.
Oh, okay. I bet you know a lot of Irish jigs, a lot of Irish
Not as
songs.
much as you think.
No?
No, I'm not very
I don't
good
know
at
any
that.
of
I think
them.
maybe Dropkick Murphys is about the extent.
Does Sweet Caroline count?
Shipping off to Boston.
There you go.
Yeah.
I always, you know, when you're at the Irish bar at the end of the night and they start singing all the songs.
And they're doing the claps.
And they all know the songs and I don't know.
Oh, no, right there, no more.
See, I knew you knew something. Okay, well, we're going to work on our limericks and all of our Irish stuff for tomorrow. Everybody be safe this weekend. Make sure that you
make great choices.
Use your different various mobile transportation services and just have a good time out there. That wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time, laddie.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.